Hello, Heroclix land. Welcome back to Talking Clix, where we celebrate the heroes of Heroclix. I'm your host, Wespool. With me, as always, is Scott the Missing Link.
Good evening.
And we have a very special episode tonight. Who is our guest this evening?
Tonight we have Mr. Joe Clark out of Mississippi,
Gulf Coast, yes, sir.
Gulf Coast Avenger.
Yes. One of the many.
Glad to have you here. All right, so how long have you been playing Clix?
I started in 2017, right around in between the Mighty Thor and Harley Quinn and the Gotham Girls. My brother actually invited me to one of the sidekick events where, he played part of a team and I played part of a team, kind of a thing. And that was a Wednesday night 9 years ago now. And I don't think I've missed a week since then. They gave me a little Captain America with ESD and combat reflexes as a prize that night, and I've been hooked since. And have had some really great teams over the years and had some really big flops over the years, but I think that's kind of part of Heroclix.
Oh, you whooped me on Saturday or Sunday.
That was some of the worst dice that I think I've seen in a long time. Scott, he rolled 3 colossal willpowers and didn't hit one in a row. He probably hit 2 super senses or shape change the entire game. It was his dice were not going to let him win that game. It didn't.
I hit like 3 attacks.
He
One
did.
mind controlling 2 attacks to kill something.
It was that was about it. The mind control and like I said, she was good though. I think Ace is going to end up on my team, modern and or silver, just for the outwit protection.
The outwit protection, and then the +2 mind control is really good. And then she's got outwit on her own, and she's got perplex. So Ace is great.
I don't know if you saw mine and Joseph Harrison's match at the end of the day. He was playing Prime Rogue, and I was playing Green Scar. And when Prime Rogue outwits Green Scar's special movement power, where she gets +3 to her damage and +3 to her attack, it was awesome to watch, but I didn't like being on the receiving end of it. It got pretty bad there real quick.
I played Joe the round before I played you. I'm like, man, I'm just getting all the lumps. See, I played John Michael DiGiulio. I played the guy that came in from California and his Destroyer team. Then I played Joe Harrison. Then I played you. And by that time, I don't remember the last game, but it was the same stuff over and over and over. Just perfect roll.
I was lucky that I every team that I played last weekend was a different team. My brother was there, and he played 3 300-point Magneto teams in a row. And it was the one where you lose a point every time you make an action.
-1 stats.
-1 to your stats. And he played that team 3 times in a row, and I never saw it.
It's not so bad if you have the group hug. You can handle it.
For Guardians. And that's why I think everybody played Guardians at King of New Orleans, was because of they were expecting that to be there. But I never ran into one. I played a double spot team that was absolutely awesome to watch the kid run. He walked the dogs on me the first game. It was just he had the 2 spots and Animal Man, and that spot hand went wherever he wanted. Toting a grave marker where I couldn't reduce. It was, like I said, it was great. I played a Colossal Apocalypse the second game, Wakanda Hulkbuster. Then I played Kenny's team at the end, which he had Prime Spider-Man out there. And so, like I said, I had a completely different team every single round. And I went 4-1 in Swifts, and then I played Joseph Harrison and Prime Rogue in the top cut. And just, like I said, once Prime Rogue had my +3 to attack and damage power, it was pretty much done after that.
So is this a casual event, or for our listeners, what event were you guys talking about?
We were at
totally casual. Louisiana States.
It was the King of New Orleans. Louisiana States was this past weekend that just went by Sunday. There was a teams event on Saturday and sealed teams, and then there was Louisiana States, also, like I said, King of New Orleans, which was 400 silver. and it was anything but casual. It had some of the best players. Like I said, it had John Michael, who was second, had Joseph Harrison, who was first in the world last year, and how many syndicate guys were there from their group?
There was Ricky Prignano, Kenny Minks, Illuminati / Steven, the guy that won due to roll off. They caused a roll off at the end because of the weather becoming inclement, and they were ready to get out of there.
Yeah.
So they made them roll off. Now apparently the syndicate went and posted a video after the game to where John Michael and Steven played the actual game out, and John Michael smoked him.
Wow. Yeah. We've done that before in Alabama last year at one of Wes's events. We went to Alabama and it was late, and
Different
me and
Wes.
one of my different West in Alabama, and we were top 2, and it was just bad weather. 8:00 at night. Had been there, had a 5-hour trip home, so we just rolled off. So it happens. It happens, you know.
I don't like the roll off stuff. Look, I went and won my second Louisiana State championship. I think it was 2016, 15 or 16. And we didn't start the event until 4:00 in the afternoon because they were like, hey, we have a con going on. We want the players to be able to come play in the event. I think there was like 2 people show up that wasn't there at like noon.
Yeah.
And we started at 4:00, and I got out of there at 2 a.m. playing the guy that I traveled with.
That was Louisiana State seems to run late every year. Myself and Beasy were in the top 2 about 5 years back, and it was pushing 11, 12 o'clock at night, and then having a couple hour drive home after that, and it was. But yeah, roll offs are. I hate that they're part of the game, but sometimes they choose to do it, and sometimes you have to do it. And weather was pretty rough Sunday evening.
Man, when I got up and went to the venue, it was 72 degrees. When I left the venue, it was 30 degrees.
Yeah, it was that southern weather. You can get sunburn and frostbite on the same day sometimes. It's pretty rough down here. So
I want to circle back to the timing here in a second, but how did you guys do in the event overall?
I came in fifth. And there was 23 players, 24 players.
There was 23 registered. One of the guys didn't show up, so there was only actually 22 players. And I believe I was 18th.
Yeah.
Strong 18th.
It was well, my brother came in top 15, he tells me, because he was 15th. So it doesn't matter what place he is, he's top that place. So I guess technically I came in top 5.
Well, but, sounds like the field was pretty tight. That's quite an achievement, 5th place. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was surprising, especially for an event that the day before I had received a green scar in the mail, and I said, I'm going to try green scar. I'd never played him before, and I just don't think people thought about him. And I had green scar and camo were my attackers, and everything else was just moving those guys around. And they're both hit really hard. My brother says I play dummy Clix. I want to go up there and knock out. I don't have any defense. I'm a attacker and see how it goes. And sometimes it works out great, and sometimes it's awful. I think we had 16 people from Mississippi State, and I was 15th. So it's either here or nothing. So,
congratulations.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the team event, let me just tell you how my weekend went. I played roughly 12 games. That's 2 practice games at the house, and then 5 games of Swiss on the team event, and then 5 games of Swiss in the main event. And I went 3-9.
Oof.
3-9. Oh, and my 5th place, my 5th opponent in the main event was Liam. I practiced with him at his Airbnb that Saturday night, and I'm like, oh, hey, this is pretty easy. I just walked over there and just started whooping on him. In the event, he's like, I learned something last night. That ain't going to happen again. And he beat me like I owed him money.
So we talked a big game going into this event. Was the team faulty or just playing dice? What happened?
Okay, I swapped up the team a little bit just before the event because I'm like, hey, you know what? Originally, it was going to be Black Leopard instead of reverse flash. And I'm like, I feel like I need just another attacker on the team. Let me get something else out there that can attack. So I dropped the Colossal Carnage, the Black Leopard, and the Mjolnir, and I put on Flash from Wonder Woman 80, and I put in the reverse flash with the God Killer sword. And Joe can tell you how my dice rolls went. I couldn't hit Kazar. I couldn't hit anybody.
Yeah, he had basically double flurries because the Wonder Woman 80th Flash can charge twice and hit you, and he's a 12 attack. He's not shabby at all, and he just hung out until he got punched and got KO'd, and then his reverse flash with the God Killer sword, and it just missed. Like I said, the dice were comical. He also had was it the Gambler? Was the Gambler on your team?
I had the Two-Face with the coin flip.
He had Two-Face with the coin flip, and it didn't matter if Scott said heads, he's flipping tails. If he said tails, he was flipping heads. It never hit once my turn or his turn.
I told you that was a bad move.
No, it went off in the first game. I think I went off like, I don't know. I played John Michael DiGiulio in the first game. I think I got it off like 5 or 6 times. And when I played Joe Harrison, I got it off like 5 or 6 times. But my game against Joe was the worst of any of the outcomes that could have happened. I'm like, how did I even score points? I don't know.
It was I don't even remember what you KO'd on my team. You KO'd Aquaman.
No, I didn't KO Aquaman. You brought somebody else up with the lion. Somebody else was over there.
Maybe the Sinestro, the big Sinestro or something.
I know I killed the big Sinestro. I killed that and something else.
One of the neatest things that happened, not neat for the other guy, was it? I don't think it was you. You didn't crit hit Aquaman, did you?
No. That would involve seeing that 6 on there.
The game before, the guy I was playing came up and he crit hit Aquaman, and I said, okay, well that's 4 damage. I'm gonna pull Fortify, and he's like, well,
no. Did he crit hit?
He crit hit.
I thought he
crit hit Aquaman, and it was enough to give Aquaman damage for me to do Fortify, even though if he wouldn't have crit hit, he would have KO'd him. Well, when I said I want to pull Fortify, then he probbed out of his own crit hits, and then he missed. And that's how I won the game before I played Scott. My 35-point Aquaman didn't die. The Aquaman Atlantean ally. So he is weird. Like I said, I've never seen somebody prob themselves out of their own crit hit.
Fortify's dirty, so.
Yeah, and this was the first weekend I've ever used sideline cards. I had Proteus on my sideline to do Proteus things, or not a Proteus on my team, and everybody's like, Proteus is a wasted 10 points due to the sideline cards, and I did them, and a lot of people were doing the Black Panther stuff, the Chair Panther. And when they did that, it was just they got rid of them. But at the end of the day, I actually got to use them. So, but like I said, it's the first time I've ever actually used them, and they've benefited me. So,
did he turn sideways on your screen?
Yep.
Yeah, it did turn sideways. Y'all are.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. I got a phone call. And I'm probably the only school teacher in America that does not have a computer. Like I don't have a computer, so everything.
You just saved us asking you a whole question. What do you do for a living?
This is my 25th year teaching.
Thank you, sir.
I've been teaching at school that I'm at now for in the last 20 years. I taught in Kentucky for a few years. Was a high school football coach. Did stuff like that. I've coached every sport you can imagine, and like I said, I've been doing this. This is my 25th year. I've got a couple of years left. I have 2 children, a 17 and 12-year-old. So I plan on keep doing what I'm doing until at least my youngest graduates, because they've been going to school with me their entire school career, and we don't live in the district that I work in. So if I retire, then they have to change their school district up. So
now, have you ever had one of your kids as a student?
Yes. I've taught PE for the last few years. I was a math teacher for a long time, and I've been PE. So I had both of my children. Actually, my oldest daughter comments all the time. She was a gifted kid, and her gifted day was always on PE day. So I really didn't teach her, but my youngest I did teach. Teaching my own kids was different. It's a different kind of challenge. One of the weirdest things, being that like I said, teaching as long as I have now, is teaching with students. Kids that I taught are now teaching with me. So it's a weird dynamic, you know.
No, but that's kind of cool at the same time.
It is cool, and it's like I said, I've taught some that I taught in high school. I've taught literally everything from pre-K to 12th grade. So some of them, I knew as kind of grown-ups, and others I still see them as that second or third grade kid, even though they're
Wes, this is a perfect segue for your guess the age game.
Oh. All right, let's guess your age. All right, I'm going to say. Well, I would say a lot younger until you told me the ages of your kids.
So what would you have said? Let's make him smile real big.
yeah.
I would have said 38 to 40.
I'm going to say 45.
I will be 49 in a week.
Wow.
Yeah, we had kids. My wife and I were married 8 years before we had kids. I had kids at 32 and 37 is when we had our kids. We had them later in life. Like I said, we moved away, lived in Kentucky for a while, stuff like that. And so we had kids later, but like I said, I work with elementary kids. I guess they keep me young when they're not making me absolutely crazy. So
My dad was a school teacher my whole life, and he was my middle school science teacher. And I remember my friends were all like, "Oh, that's gotta be awesome for you, great on the curve for you." Like, no, he's exact opposite. He was so hard on me.
well, because you're my kid, you should know how to do this.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, it is weird if you have your own kids in class, and then I don't know how COVID worked around y'all and stuff. We got sent home like in the middle of March till the end of school.
Yep.
And trying to teach my own kids like actual lessons and stuff was awful.
It was brutal.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah.
Had one in high school and one in elementary school. The elementary school, easy. The high schooler, we'd be up until midnight trying to get him to get his lessons done.
And that's anybody who does homeschool and does it well, awesome, good for them. Like I said, one of our buddies that does Clix with us. He has 9 children and they're all homeschooled, and his wife stays. Yeah, and I'm like, man, I don't. But his kids are good kids. I don't know. I've never seen his kids misbehave or anything. My kids love to argue, so. But they probably get that from their mom. So, I don't know. But
do they play Clix with you or your wife?
Well, my youngest never has. My oldest, the 17-year-old, she has not played in the last year or so, but she played the Bombshell Gotham Girls forever. She won a bunch of Winamaps with it. She won a bunch of tournaments with it. She became deadly with that team, and that's when she was 10 years old, 11 years old. She would come in there and people were like, hey, I'm gonna play against this little girl, and she was giggling her butt off the entire time. She was beating up on a bunch of grown men in Heroclix. That's the only reason I have a Colossal Carnage. She won a tournament, and that was the prize, was the Colossal Carnage.
And your dad texted,
and she's like, I don't know what to do with this. I said, I do. Thank you. That's where my Colossal Carnage came from, like I said. But she's played a lot. My younger daughter plays. I couldn't see her playing any like competitive events, but she plays Batman Team Up. We did a lot of Scooby-Doo games and things like that. She's played casually at the house. My wife has zero interest in anything Heroclix related. She doesn't. She sports me. Hey, go on your trips, have fun. Being a teacher in elementary school, having 2 daughters, Clix is one of my ways that I actually get to talk to guys, to get to go and do stuff. We travel, usually about 10 of us, right? Anytime we go somewhere. And it's been kind of my guy time, I guess you would say, to not have to, I said, we have 100 employees at my school and there's 2 men, me and a music teacher, and that's it. So it's nice.
Surrounded by women all the time.
All the time. So that's like I said, that's kind of one of the reasons we do Clix. Started out so I could spend time go and do things with my brother. We just moved back from Kentucky a year or so before, and like I said, we did a sidekick event, and it's like, hey, come out with this Wednesday and we'll play. And it's just, like I said, that's kind of, it gives you a reason to hang out. It gives guys a destination. Like I said,
your brother's no slouch at the game either.
Yeah, he at Worlds and things, he's done much better than I have. He's been top 8 a couple of times at Worlds. He's when he latches on to a team, he does well. He doesn't like change too much. Like I said, he's like, I want to play these figures, and he finds a way to make his figures work. And so that's I don't know if you know what happened last weekend at the tournament. He showed up with a team, and HC Unit said it was legal. And he's clicking, making his team and stuff, and he showed up, and it had like 340 points of modern on his silver team. So we were there digging through boxes trying to find a team. It literally just gave him, he had 140 points of random figures that weren't on his team the day before. And that's what he played. And then he played that Magneto team 3 in a row. So,
and he still got top 15th.
Top 15.
Yeah, played me.
Did he play you?
I didn't play him. Man, I love playing y'all. I love playing all the Mississippi guys. Y'all are just so gracious in the games. It's like, oh yeah, whatever. Let's have fun.
Yeah,
it's always a good time.
We've got a couple of Nathan. Nathan's probably our strongest player. He puts the time into actually really building and min-maxing his teams and stuff like that. That kid, he is hard to beat. But he doesn't get mad. He doesn't get upset. When he loses a game and stuff, he's like, well, I should have done this or this. It's like I said, I don't really see any of our guys that's, I get irritated when I lose a game, just because it's like bad dice or just bad play or something. Because I can always, after the game, tell you how I would have won. That's I told Lucas last year at Worlds I would have beat him if he hadn't wiped my team on his first attack. So, things like that happen. But
so let's go over a little bit more about your team from last weekend. What all did you run?
I had Camo and Green Scar were my 2 main attackers, and it was a ruler theme team.
Motorcycle or Hell Cycle on one of them and Animal Man on the other.
I had Camo had Hell Cycle, so he could get TK'd up, jump up 4, and just reach anywhere he wanted, even on a long map. And, Camo's just, generally, he's hard to kill. Like I said, first game, he got 1 shot. But that was a fluke. I had Green Scar, which I also had Aquaman, which could move Green Scar, and Kazar. And anytime Green Scar moves 5 or less, he gets to make an attack. And on his first click, he's a 13 for 8. And on his second click, he's a 14 for 7 with exploit.
But I kept you on your third click for most of it, where you were 8 damage.
Scott hit me to that sweet 12 attack click, so I was a 15 for 8 with exploit. And most of the time, I was hitting 4 times a turn. Sometimes it was 5 times a turn, and it was a lot. 40 damage from one guy is absolutely ridiculous. Which if you hit him, he should just die. But Scott chose not to hit me the entire game, so that helped me out. Like I said, I had Black Shirt Scott Porter for +1 defense. He was my probs. That was the only probs I had, was the 3 rerolls from him. Kazar moved me around, and Atlantean ally Aquaman also moved Green Scar around. So I had hypersonic up there, which gave me 2 attacks. If I hit in the middle of the hypersonic, it was 3 attacks. Aquaman gave me a 4th attack, and Kazar gave me a 5th attack each turn. So it was just go up there and see if I can. Most teams have 2 big attackers. If I can knock out 2 big attackers and just hang out, it's kind of what I did. I killed Wakanda Hulkbuster in 1 turn.
Yep, and you were the only person to kill Wakanda with my Wakandan Hulkbuster all day.
Yep, he got. I one-shotted him because, like I said, being 15 for 8 damage and Scott not hitting super senses, he just died. He
or
just
shape change.
Yeah, or shape change. It was, and I didn't have any precision strike. I didn't have any battle fury. It was just your dice just didn't help you out all day.
What are you talking about? They did me great. I don't know what you're talking about.
It didn't help you in that game. Like I said, then he was flipping coins, and the coins just.
They all did what they were meant to do for me.
Yeah, it was. But like I said, that was a fun game. Like I said, the toughest game besides Joe Harrison's Prime Rogue, and Prime Rogue outwitting me was not something I saw coming. I just didn't even think about Prime Rogue getting that special power, and it just made it all.
He came against Two Faces like, so if I outwit that coin flip, do I get to do it? Yeah.
Well, that's what he asked. He said, if I outwit your movement power, do I get to use it? And I was like, I think the answer is yes, but I really hope it's no. and it was yes. So he had hypersonic. So he was getting 2 attacks at 15 for 7 or whatever she was. And then she get her free attack again, 15 for 7. And she automatically broke away. So she would just run through blocking the next turn and hit something else really hard. So,
were there any significant judge calls over the weekend?
I
think almost everyone in the tournament had been playing for a while. There was a couple of new guys, and I don't think there was too much. I mean, there's a couple of clarifications. We had Dan from DGen was there as a judge, and Aaron Morgan was there as a judge, and those 2 guys stayed on top of it. I never saw them disagree about anything. It was a very well run tournament, and for being 8, I think ended up being 8 rounds. It went by really quick. So we played 5, cut to top 8. So
yeah, Ryan Redmond and Ollie were supposed to be there, but they got flight canceled at like 11 p.m. So yeah. Ryan was not happy about it.
Yeah, they were there last year. There was more of the DJ and Glide, and then I think Dan left early on Sunday. I don't think he got to stay till the very end because he was flying back out before they got snowed in or something like that. So, but yeah, those 2 guys judged. I didn't really hear any, things. Like I said, there was a couple of rulings that you wish, like, man, this doesn't seem like spirit of game. Doesn't seem like the purpose behind this, but. That's kind of Clix. Clix is finding that weird little thing and exploiting it. Is that and it's funny, Scott, because I had a Wakanda Hulkbuster team was what I was planning on playing beforehand, and I practiced it a couple times last week with the guys, and I couldn't get them to work. Like I said,
see it works for me, but I got to mitigate what that one free action is, and I feel like that's what. A lot of the time constraint is like for the opponent is figuring out what one reaction do they want. When my first game against John Michael DiGiulio, he had a ton of free actions on his team, but he only used 1 out of the entire 6 turns that we took. I don't know. He used 1. And that was it. And he just said, hey, I'm going to kill the Superman over here. Now Cyborg Superman can shoot across the field since you got a bunch of equipped characters. Here you go, guys. I'm just going to start wiping y'all out.
And it's neat playing against those guys. Some of those guys are just on a totally different level as far as making teams. Things that just, why is this guy on the map? And then you see what they do with it. It's just unbelievable.
It was great. And when you asked about my team or my dice rolls, Wes, I feel like it was a combination of all of it. I had a plan going in with my team, and I feel like my team did what I wanted it to do. Especially when I would get that Wakandan stack up there with the 21 defense and all the powers. it was gross, but Joe recognized what I was trying to do with Wakanda Hulkbuster, and he's like, nope, I'm going to kill him first. And then Wendigo can go attach to whoever, and Red Symbiote can go over here and just chill out because I'm not going to mess with him.
I missed but I don't know how I kept missing the red. This red symbiote's the only thing that hit me super senses or whatever it was hitting. I just couldn't hit that little pile of worm, whatever it is. Yeah, goo. So, but and like I said, it was like I said, I like the Hulkbuster. I like him a lot. I just he didn't work for me. He didn't work for me because I had him and Camo on a team, and it just. Like I said, but I was also a lot of our guys here. Y'all know how cool Prime Rogue is right now. I feel like I'm running Prime Rogue every single match. That's what I'm running into is either the new Prime Rogue or the old Prime Rogue. And most of the stuff that I do just kind of fails against either one of them because they're just and Joe's fair, that's what he said. This is a busted figure. But do y'all think that figure is going to get eroded to standard powers?
No.
Yes.
So
we don't agree on lots of stuff, but yes, I think she has to get some kind of eroded to standard powers. I feel like just being able to take the whole special and be like, oh hey, I got +3 to attack and damage if I walk through walls. Thank you, Green Scar.
Now, the question was, will they? Should they is a different question.
Yeah.
I definitely think they should. I don't think they will. Based on the way the design team is going and the rules team are ruling, they want everything as broken as possible so that nothing's broken. And for the most part, Rogue isn't really dominating the scene. Like she's in tournaments, but she's not, a problem figure at this point. So until she becomes like on every team, winning every game, they're not going to touch her.
Legacy Thanos, like he did.
Yeah.
Legacy Thanos won everything. And the reason I was curious about it was the Venom Rogue. Venom Rogue had the exact same power. Then they eroded her to standard powers. And she just, people didn't, it wasn't as cool then because I couldn't take Nightcrawler's triple flurry or whatever. So, like I said, that's a figure that I don't have. I am excited about some Strange Tales figures. I want to see what people do with like the Lord of the Vampires Wolverine. I think he's just going to be great. I really do. I think he's going to be a good figure when people start playing him. And I'm excited to see how Chase Loki plays. How do y'all feel about that guy?
I think Chase Loki is going to be bonkers. And I feel like Vampire Wolverine, I'm on the fence with him.
I've heard that about Vampire Wolverine. People are either like he's going to be, excessively broken, or he's like,
Okay, he's going to be super easy to heal. Super easy.
Unless they're playing the Bloodstone.
Yes, the Bloodstone's going to go up in value a lot.
How do you guys feel about the new Black Lantern ring?
I didn't really read it. There were some people in the group chat for Earthbound and like, oh, hey, this is going to be busted. Like, I don't know what it is. It gives you the ability to go to when you would be KO'd, you can go to any click that you had access to.
Yeah.
So it's 20 points. And like I said, if Vampire Wolverine per se gets KO'd, no, I'm just going to throw him back on click 1 because I had access to it. Or somebody take the Starro Legacy card and, okay, you KO'd my Starro after I made him 270 points. Now I'm going to go throw him on click 1. There's some stuff like that I think is going to be interesting and see if he was there. But 20 points is a whole lot of points in the game right now.
Yeah, but it's free on Black Lantern Core. Well, let me just read it. When this character would be KO'd, qualifying keywords Black Lantern Core. When they would be KO'd, instead turn them to any click they could have been on this game and give them a reanimate token. If you do, they gain immune until your next turn. // If this character has a reanimate token, when they would take damage or when Black Lantern Ring would be unequipped, instead remove the Black Lantern Ring and the equipped character from the game. Protected Pulse Wave. So it's great for point denial for sure.
I feel like there's going to be stuff. I mean, there's already a bunch of stuff in the game that unequips. I feel like there's going to be more coming out that says unequip.
So if you get unequipped, you remove the character from the game also?
Yes.
After they've been
After
reanimated.
reanimated.
I mean, I think that's going to be like a Spirit of Vengeance for Red Hulk. People are going to figure out how to hit him 3 times. You got the black ring on this guy. I'm going to go hit him. Okay, now he's reanimated. Now I'm going to hit him again, knock his token off, and hit him again. He's KO'd. I didn't realize that I figured it'd be going to be like the guy, the super rare that KO'd and came back to life that won all the states last year. 300 point Dark Side. I thought he just came back to life, but if he can be removed from one click, there's a lot of stuff out there you can just hit him one more time.
Yeah, but he's got immune for a turn, so you can do some shenanigans. So you KO him once, and they have like a Wonder Woman bring him back to life somehow. Like there's a lot of things that can when they would be KO'd. So you have something like that on the team. So you got to KO him again, and then they have the reanimate, and then they have immune for a turn. So then you have to hit him again. Like,
but if their X-Men Morph can bring them back, and then Abscissa can bring them back, and it's all kinds of great stuff. Oh, and I could make anybody X-Men. Thank you, Cyclops Legacy.
Cyclops alternate. I wonder if the leader's going to go up in values. Anybody going to play the leader? Because
that's what somebody else was talking about too. What? Tell me about the leader.
The leader says when they would be KO'd, or excuse me, when a KO effect triggers, he cancels it.
It says if they would be KO'd, they can't use that power. So it's like when
pull it out if you need me to.
What's that?
Said I'll go pull it out if you need me. The legacy card. Don't get no funny thoughts.
Yeah. The legacy card, it says when you would be KO'd, you just can't use that power. So you can't come back to life or can't, whatever. So then there's a couple of things out there that it said he's pretty good for. So, but I wonder if, like I said, with all the X-Men shenanigans, like I said, with Abscissa, with Morph, and because I played Cable Prime with Morph, and it's just kind of gross.
I do like that it's 20 points because that is a pretty broken power. And people aren't playing Black Lanterns that much right now. They should be, but they're not. So you're going to pay a hefty price to have that one extra click of life.
Yeah.
So the trait says Green Door Manipulation. Opposing effects that trigger when an opposing character would be KO'd don't trigger. Effects that trigger when a character is KO'd still trigger.
How many points is he?
Yes, 35 points. So if you have an is KO'd and they would replace / like Wakanda Hugbuster gets to bring out a Black Panther, that is when he is KO'd, this happens. And then when they would be KO'd, like Abscissa, then that would not trigger because they are not being removed.
That's a pretty neat trick for 35 points.
Oh, but he's squishy.
Yeah, he's got to be hidden in the back somewhere. He's got to be hidden in the back, kept alive somehow. He's got prob and ESD.
He's got 2 clicks to prob, 2 clicks to outwit, and then a prob. The prob is on a special probability control. When the leader uses it to target an opposing character after resolutions, give the targeted character an action token.
Yeah, so if they didn't KO the leader with that shot.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I think that might come into play with all of the, like I said, X-Men. There's a bunch of ways to keep people alive. And now, like I said, if you can get that cable card where anybody's an X-Man, that's where I was looking for that Cyclops card. I wanted to play him because I said if I could make the Ultra Chase Thanos a X-Man and then play some of the Hellfire Gala people to make, all he has to do is roll a 5. Now he's got a 10 for all of his gems to go off. I said that would be pretty awesome in there, but then keep him alive with Morph with Abscissa. So like I said, there's a lot of shenanigans I think are going to be happening here soon.
So King New Orleans was Silver Age. Do you prefer Silver Age over 300 Modern?
No, no. So Silver Age, you can't prepare for it. It's too big of a field. There's too much stuff out there, and it's just I like modern. I like that things rotate and change, and I think they've done a good job with the Silver Age like ban list, restricted list, to where everybody's not just playing Death Metal Wonder Woman Prime Colossus who just rotated. Let's give them a break for a while. You can play some of your MOE chases now that they're off the bench list. Don't play Predagon because everybody's playing them in modern. There's a couple of figures that just the list makes sense to me. And it's like I said, I like Silver. We play it, but I would much rather play 300 modern. People are like, well, the meta's all the same. I'm like, well, if you play Pulp, you're playing the same 4 or 5 Pulp teams. Generally, I am interested to see all the new upcoming events that are going to be Silver Pulp, the CCOs and stuff, to see what that looks like.
Are they doing the 200 floor? Where you
Yes.
half and half?
Yeah, so it's still half and half, and it's Silver. They got a bunch of stuff, banned or whatever, but you can't use primes, can't use equipment because it's Pulp. I don't think you can use alternative cards. So it's 400 Silver Pulp, and like I said, I've been working on some teams, looking at stuff. There's a lot out there. Like I said, Silver's really big, and a lot of figures that you've never looked at before, but I think you're still going to see a lot of Blue Marvels and Rare Spider-Man and some things like that. A lot of your same few figures that are just really hard to hit. And that blue Hal Jordan where everybody has a 20 defense. I think you're going to see a lot of him also.
Oh, I wanted to circle back to something you said earlier, because the tournaments kind of go long. How does that affect your play style over the course of a 10-hour day of playing nonstop Clix?
It totally depends on the team. If I have a team that takes a lot of placement, that has a lot of issues that I have to think about, five or six rounds in, you're mentally exhausted. A lot of the times at these events you go to, you don't even realize, hey, it's 6:00 at night. I didn't eat lunch. I didn't eat breakfast. Because you got there at 9. They check your team and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, if you play camo and green scar, where you're literally going to run across the map and just punch. It doesn't matter what's over there. You don't really get as tired. But I didn't have a lot of positioning and things to think of. But like I said, playing a team where you're positioning Prime Cable, he's going to go over there and pulse wave everybody for 4. But you don't want to hit your own carrier. You want to make sure the knockback counts. You do things like that, and then what else are you going to put with him? You can't just put stay alive stuff because one outwit and he's dead. So it depends on how complicated your team is. And some of these guys had some super complicated teams. Like I said, the guy with the double spot team, it was just unreal to watch.
There was 2 of those double spot teams.
Was there? I'm glad I only played 1. They were probably ahead of me in the tournament. So
Lou won, or Steven, he won. But he had a double spot team as well.
So Illuminati is real.
Yes.
Stole it.
Yes, Illuminati. I said it was an impressive team. I didn't know Spot could do all the things that Spot does, and I said I'm sure those teams, like I said, you really have to think about what you're doing. And I've had some of those teams before where positioning is a big deal. Your first and second move is a humongous deal, and you get exhausted. Especially, like I said, we were moving at a pretty good clip. There was maybe 5 minutes between rounds.
Yeah. There was not much time because they were like, hey, we know that they want to get out of here at an early time. So like I said, the weather dropped 40 degrees throughout the day, which is Just crazy.
It rained. It rained all day, and it got cold. And all of my events, all of my games, I know I was still sitting at the table, and they're like, "All right, your next pairing's already up," and we haven't even picked up our stuff from the previous game. So, like I said, it was quick. So, like I said, but it was, yeah. Like I said, yeah. So to answer your question, it does get pretty exhausting, especially in big things like Worlds or where there might be more on the line. I enjoy sealed. The last two Worlds, I've gone and played BRs, and I could play BRs all day because it's like, let's go and roll dice and play Clix.
I did two BRs at King of New Orleans with Strange Tales, and I'm like, this. I did a sealed event, and then I did two BRs with Strange Tales. I'm like, this is just, I can't stand this set. I don't know why.
It is because everyone has mystics, and only like the super rares and chases have protected mystics. So it's like, I'm going to go hit your team, and now I'm hurting myself. And I KO more of my own figures, like in the few BRs that we played with Strange Tales, and I KO'd other people's.
Mordo loves it though. Baron Mordo loves the mystics.
They do. It's not a good sealed set. One of our guys made the statement. Stephen McKenzie said that everything in Strange Tales that's not a figure is a really good game element. He likes the possessors and the other things that came with the game, tarot cards and this, that, but he doesn't like any of the figures.
I feel like this set falls into the same trap that Next Phase fell into, of the character selection just isn't interesting, so the set isn't interesting.
Yeah.
Next Phase is better.
Next Phase had
power level wise, it was better.
Yeah, and Next Phase to me had more characters you were looking to play. We had 3 boosters and sealed one night of Strange Tales, and I had a pack with double possessors in it. I pulled 4 possessors and 3 astral figures. In my 3 boosters. And it's like, I told him, I said, I've got to go mulligan. I said, I can play everything that I have here, and I had like 220 points. So it was, I'm on the phone. So anyway, I had 220 points when I had played every booster, everything in the boosters for Strange Tales. And then I went mulligan, and I pulled the Vampire Wolverine, and I won.
Hey.
So yeah, that they were not appreciative of that. But and then having like the Hulk and all these other Avengers that would now have the X-Men team ability, it got dumb after that. But we didn't have any prizing. We were just playing to play. But
those are great games though. I love playing like that.
Yeah.
Did the weather have any impact on you guys getting home okay?
We were good. We all rode together. My brother lives in Diamond Head, which is about 45 minutes away from where we played in New Orleans. And then I live 45 minutes away from him in Ocean Springs. And then we had another guy that had to go to Mobile. So we just kind of hopped, but it wasn't bad. We didn't get home that late. It was really cold when we got home, but it was everybody got home safely, and it wasn't anything a big deal. It was just kind of nasty driving home.
Well, Scott.
On my drive, I was driving to my stepdaughter's house again because I stayed the night there. And then I went to work Monday morning at 27 degrees. It was great. But I tried calling in to the show. I was there for some of the pre-show stuff. And then my wife called me because I called her before I called y'all on the show. And she called me back. I'm like, yep, the boss is calling. And then when I got there, I ate dinner, cleaned up, packed my bag so I could leave when I got done with work. So I didn't make the call into the show because I was trying to get all my ducks in a row to get home.
Did you miss your chair?
I did miss my chair. I am so digging this chair over that wooden thing that I was sitting in. The torturing device.
No, I'm glad you guys made it home okay, because the storm didn't hit me as bad as they predicted, but I'm just a little more north. So if you go about 30 minutes south of me is where they got like a foot or more of snow. I got hit with about 5 to 7 inches. So it wasn't that bad. Where a lot of people got a lot worse than I did.
Yeah, that's I think Dan was saying they had a foot of snow the day before, like on Saturday or whatever, wherever they were from. So I said we don't have it's snowed twice here my entire life. You know, we don't get snow. We do get a lot of rain now. That's what's if it even they think about snow in here, they shut down the entire world. So
Everything shuts down. Like, they were out putting stuff on the roads here in Houston, and I wasn't even here, but I could see the updates coming in on my phone. Be like, all right, hey, this bridge is closed. Oh, hey, they're putting ice and sand out.
yeah, being a teacher though, we love watching that, scrolling through Facebook saying, are we closing tomorrow? Is tomorrow going to be a day off? And it's like, we got a couple of messages that night. It's like, due to extreme cold weather, you can wear jeans tomorrow. Like, they get your hopes up. They get your hopes up just enough. And it's like, oh, you know.
You're allowed to wear a hoodie with a logo.
Yeah. Make sure it's school appropriate. No holes or rips. Yeah.
Do snow days exist anymore, or is everything just automatically online now?
We have a couple of like hurricane days built in. We usually have, and it's in the calendar. It's like we will go to the school. Like this year, we got out for Christmas break December 17th. We would have went an extra 3 days had we canceled school for a hurricane during hurricane season. So we have a few days built into the calendar for, like I said, for hurricanes, but we haven't used them in years. And like I said, online is always that, I guess, fail safe nuclear option. You know, if nothing else is going to happen, every kid has a Chromebook, you know, but if it's a hurricane, they don't have any electricity. So, it's, you know, it's kind of like now, and we all know how wonderful Chromebooks are. I don't know how much time y'all spend on them, but they're pretty.
Too much.
All right, Joe. So you better builder or better pilot?
I go to tournaments to get ideas and use other people's ideas. I'm not really a builder, I found out. Like I said, I'll go and watch people. I'm like, I really like how he used that figure or that figure. And I'll kind of take the figures I like and play them together. And I'll pilot. I'm a much better pilot than I am at building a team. Sometimes I'll just bring absolutely stupid, busted teams and play them just because, hey, I'm going to go play this and it's the dumbest team ever. And, you know, some people, sometimes they don't mind. And then other times people are just like, I got really blasted at Alabama last year at the CCO, or maybe a year before. I had a 300 modern team with 4 Carnage Surfers on it. And it was just 4 Carnage Surfers and white shirt Scott Porter, where everybody had +1 to attack, +1 to damage. They were all, it was awful. It was absolutely awful. But, you know, some people are like, oh, that's so fun. That's great. You know, I'd do that too. And then a lot of people get online and were blasting me. This guy doesn't deserve to play the game because of that team. And it was just, it was, like I said, it was just one of those things. Like I said, it was, let's see what this does. It was very one-dimensional. And like I said, it was a good tournament. I got beat by Iron Hammer, that everybody either love Iron Hammer or hate Iron Hammer, but I got beat by Iron Hammer that tournament because you shoot at him. If he hits his 4, 5, 6 super senses, you eat your own damage, and now I'm eating 6 damage back instead of 4, whatever it is. So, but I'm a much better pilot than I am a builder for sure.
How much practice did you get in before the tournament this weekend? And do you want to shout out your local venue?
We play at McNarb's Gaming in Goshen, Mississippi, and our owner Greg, he's an amazing guy. He orders us whatever we want to order. He basically, you know, gives us. You play in Clix, it's 20% off the MSRP. He always does great with it at McNarb's. I built my team at 11 o'clock Saturday night and brought it in Sunday. I had played Camo before, and I borrowed Kazar and everything else I hadn't played. It was just, there was no practice in my team. It was on this event. We do play pretty much every Thursday night is when our Clix are. We're out there from 6 to about 10.
So you're missing tonight for the show?
Well, tonight I was helping out. One of our guys passed away last weekend.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was a good guy. He's had some health issues, and so he passed away Saturday, and I was at my brother and I went to his wife's house, and we were just trying to help her go through stuff. And I went into his Clix room. She's like, Joe, if you can help me get rid of these and, or whatever. And I thought I had a bunch of junk. He has everything from, I don't know, about the past 15 years. And so it's all going to be up there for sale. So if people are looking for some old figures and up to new modern figures, and just trying to get rid of his collection, give the money back to his wife. But that's where I was tonight. So like I said, we had canceled tonight because we knew that, we're trying to help her get ready for the weekend and everything, trying to get some stuff out of the house with family and friends coming over. So, but yeah, so tonight we're not doing it. But like I said, we're usually out there, and if we have prizing, if we're playing pre-release or a win a map or OP kit or something, we'll usually pull, 8 to 10 guys. Cause we have, like I said, from Mobile, almost 45 minutes away, to Long Beach, which is almost an hour away. People travel in, and when we're just doing like practice and fun stuff, it's harder to get guys out. So like I said, we try to run prized events. People tend to drive a little bit further if there's something.
I've been there twice, and that's a long way for me to go.
It's Goshen, Mississippi. There's not a lot there. A lot of people, Ocean Springs has got shopping. Biloxi's got all the casinos and stuff like that. Goshen's got a pizza place, a seafood place, and that's about it. It's just,
and they're all in the same parking lot.
They're all connected in the same parking lot. We're actually upset because our Mexican place got hit by a tornado a few months back. So now we got to find a new place to eat before Clix. We used to always meet there and then go eat. But like I said, it's this event. Like I said, I had zero practice with this team. It was just, went and played my way, ran across the map and KO'd something. And, if you don't KO me back, and I'd win. And I had a lot of games this weekend too. I won a game 35-25. A guy was playing double dooms, the swap out dooms, and he came across the map, killed Colossal Sinestro on the first turn, took DJ Doom, KO'd his time platform, and stole my health cycle off a camo. Well, when he KO'd the time platform, I had 10 points. And he and we just punched and punched and punched. Nobody could kill anything the entire game except for the two I killed his Colossal Sinestro and had his time platform. And it was just, I couldn't hit him. He couldn't hit me. And he had Prime Sinestro. So Green Scar was just.
It was to work.
A paperweight. Yeah. Because Green Scar is a paperweight.
Sinestro worked, Wes. You wanted to see it. There you go.
It did work.
So I don't think. I want to say there may have been a misplay there. I'm not 100%. I think the platform can only take something of 10 points or less.
I don't know. I didn't ask. He took the health cycle, which is 15 points.
I don't think it works that way, but maybe.
Maybe. I don't know if I had any. I had rings that were 5 points apiece. But anyway, so like I said, he gave me 10 points when he did that. And I said I swung at him and not having any modifiers on my team, and him having, you get -1 to your attack, -1 to your damage with the dooms and things like that. I couldn't hit. And then Camo's got a printed 19, and he never hit Camo, and Green Scar hung out in the back the whole game. So we just swung and swung, and it was a very non-interesting game. So like I said, like I said, I got lucky. I think I got luckier this weekend than I probably should have with a team that I had no practice with. So,
Do you normally go to tournaments with a raw team like that, or do you usually prepare more?
we we like to prepare more. Our like I said, our group. I've seen some people show up and it's like, oh, we're 3 guys are all going to play the same team. Our guys and nobody wants to play what somebody else in the group is playing. So it's like if you pick Prime Rogue as your person, then nobody else in the group plays Prime Rogue. We all play our own type thing. So like I said, we usually practice, at least we're going to practice this Thursday, then this Saturday, and then next Thursday, and then the following weekend we'll go. So at least you have, 6 to 10 rounds of, we do placement. A lot of time we don't even roll dice. If it's a 7, you hit, to save time and to see how would this work out. So usually we have a lot more practice than the 0 practice that I had this week. So, but like I said, our guys play. One of the problems of our group is that everybody wants to practice their team. So we don't get to practice against the current meta unless that's what somebody's playing, if that makes sense.
That's what we have the issues with. It's like, okay, so then we get 1 or 2 guys that are volunteering to play the meta stuff, and then they get no practice with their team.
Yeah, so and that's the whole thing. It's like, I want to practice this, and it's like, I know I can't beat your team. I know my team's not going to beat your team. Hopefully we don't play in a tournament. So, but we're
round 1.
Yeah,
round 1.
That's what it is. That's exactly what happens. So, like I said, we play it, but we're trying to figure out how. Hey, run this team. Let's see what my team does against it, and move on. Because now, like with HC units, you can see what's winning at any event. You can see what's winning anywhere. So, hey, let's see why is this good, and why did this win 3 different states? So if it won, let's try to play against it. We haven't yet, but we do plan on it. But like I said, everybody wants to run your team. I want to play with my toys. I don't want to play toys that I'm not going to play in the event next weekend. So like I said, we've got a pretty active group that goes. We've been everywhere from Indiana, Oklahoma, Florida, Texas, Louisiana. We go anywhere we can. Sometimes we fly.
Are you coming up to Red, White, and Clix in November in Indiana?
Yes, this year y'all had Red, White, and Clix the same weekend as something else down here. Is I think why we missed it. I think that may have been the CCO in Birmingham was the same weekend.
Probably.
Yeah, we had a couple of guys go to Red, White, and Clix the year before in Indiana. I think y'all had it the week before Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken. And
Maybe,
I think it's either week before or week after. I think it was the week before, and it's like I can't take off the week before a week I'm out of school. It's really frowned on for teachers, But that's one of the big events, especially because the pricing is so awesome. The boxes and the tokens and stuff. It's Red, White, and Clix always looks great. So the plan is yes. We want to go, and like I said, I know we had 2 guys there a year before last.
Cool. So overall, in comics and movies, DC over Marvel?
I think if you're a competitive player, DC,
no, just like movies and comics and all that stuff.
DC, they make fun of me. Aquaman's my guy. I like playing Aquaman teams. I have a really fun, competitive Atlantean team with the Prime Namor on it. I like the fish guys. I like the dolphin symbol. So there you go. I just got an orca in the mail. Traded to me after states this year. So Kevin Maloney sent me an orca. I appreciate him doing that because we traded.
Former guest of the show, Kevin Maloney.
Do what?
Former guest of the show, Kevin Maloney.
Yeah. So Kevin was a little upside down in our trade. I sent him a couple of other things, but he sent me an Orca for a bio droid, and his PC wanted it. I didn't have an Orca, and he had a couple of them. So, but Orca's going to go on my Mr. Nimbus team now, because it's just that playing Prime Namor where nobody can attack you unless they're adjacent. It messes up everybody's team. It's a really, really fun way to play. So, but like I said, I like DC because I like Aquaman.
Who's the bigger Aquaman fan, you or Miles King?
I don't know. I've played Miles a couple times too.
Have you played him in the Aquaman costume?
Yeah, I don't have a costume, and I have not played until this weekend Aquaman competitively, other than this Atlantean ally and the ruler one with the Batman team up that makes the little tentacle arms.
Yep.
Like I said, those are the only two Aquaman I've ever played, other than, like I said, at the Scott Porter tournament last year, my 400 modern team was Prime Namor, which was really caught a lot of people off guard because they didn't know what to do if they could not target you. You know,
I'm sorry to say that sounds like Miles takes it then.
Yeah. He's got it for sure. Like, as far as playing the figures, like I said, I like Aquaman. Like I said, that's kind of something. And they're like, just why Aquaman? Like he's awesome. I like to go fishing too, so maybe that's it.
If they changed the dolphin, four square, can't target with four squares, what would you do to change it? Because they changed everything else with the shrinking of the maps, but they left dolphin alone. How would you change it?
If I were going to make dolphin, it'd be more playable. If you're a dolphin and you're in water, you have wall crawler. You get to jump 4. You're jumping out of the water. That's what I think would make the most sense with the way the game is going now. Because, like I said, the wall crawler is such a good thing. It's like, hey, you can jump to different elevation within 4. If you're a dolphin and you're within water, instead of giving you your super stealth or whatever you want to call it, just say, hey, I can now jump out of the water. I can do basically a sidestep of 4, sidestep of 3 if 4 is too overpowered or whatever. I think that would have a lot more people interested in it, especially with everything being alpha. You know, how far can I get on my first turn? And that's I build all my teams. They make fun of me. I want to be alive on the second turn. You know, that's my whole goal of Clix the whole last year, is to get an attack, because I feel like a lot of teams you play, if you don't win initiative, you're KO'd, you know, or everything good on your team's KO'd. So I want to play a second turn. Oh, that's kind of where I am.
How about you, Wes? You got a fix for dolphins, or anything you want to adjust on them?
I would just make it like stealth. You have to be adjacent to target them.
So keep it defensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, the super stealth on them kind of works. You got to be within 4, but right now we're in a meta that there's almost no range.
So that's what makes that Namor from, what's that, was it?
Trove?
Yeah. That would make sense so good, is that he has like super stealth where you have to be adjacent to him if he's in water.
Namor.
And if they made everything more like that, I mean, maybe it's overpowered, I don't know, but I think that it would be consistent with what they had with water before. But with the shrinking of the maps, to leave it at 4 squares, I feel like it really nerfs it a little bit. But if make it adjacent, it's more consistent.
I mean, you're paying for that adjacency rule, though, because he's 200 points and he's a prime slot. So you're paying for that super stealth in the water.
Yeah.
So
yeah, at 300 modern, he's almost unplayable. You know, he's too many points. He kind of just dies if somebody gets on top of it, you know, punches him twice. But like I said, the Scott Porter team event last year was 400 modern. 400 modern super Highlander. And, you know, that's kind of how we built our teams. I'm like, I want to play Prime Namor, and everybody's else like, play him. Nobody else was even interested in him. And like I said, in the matchups, You know, and then in the matchups that I played, people had no idea how to handle them because you literally had to be adjacent to do anything to any figure on my team. So
With the long sword on him, blades through, 4 squares away, went through a wall. Just get him.
yeah, the little mind control helmet's pretty much useless on him because he's got hypersonic. You know,
Yeah.
you're not going to hypersonic mind control. But like I said, it's fun. Like I said, I like the dolphin symbol. It's just like I said, it needs something. Like I said, I like the super stealth idea is a good idea. You know, we've all got super stealth and can't be bothered.
What is your music genre?
Music genre, probably the same stuff I listened to in high school. 90s rap and hip hop, 90s country. I still listen to the same stuff, and it's funny because I DJ all the school dances and we play all this new stuff now, and it's not quite the same, but I will, you know, drop in Tootsie Roll at a school dance, and the teachers love it, but the kids have no idea what it is.
Well, you're listening to tunes on the way to a Heroclix tournament. What are you listening to?
Here lately, Mandatory Metallica has been on. I have XM in my car, so it's a lot of Mandatory Metallica or the Ozzy's Boneyard. And if we're not listening to those on the way to a tournament, we'll have on Outlaw Country, which is a lot of 90s country stuff. It's kind of where we live. There's not a lot of old hip hop stations out there, even on the satellite radio.
Scott, what were you listening to on the way to Louisiana?
Audible. I listen to Audible.
Oh, that's right. You're listening to books. You were listening to Azareth's book.
First season or first book of the Dream, Dream of the Endless or whatever it is. That was like season 1 and season 2 on the TV show. So, and it followed the TV shows pretty accurately.
Go ahead.
I'll say on Audible right now, I think about 5 guys in our group are all listening to Dungeon Crawler Carl. Have y'all heard of that or seen that?
No, I haven't. I've heard of Dungeon Crawler Carl, and it's on my things to maybe check out. But I'm currently listening to Hunter Blaine's "I'm Glad You're Dead" series. It's a vampire, werewolf, all kinds of weird stuff going on.
Well, Dungeon Crawler Carl, aliens basically suck all the humans on the Earth into the Earth. They're now in a dungeon, and they're trying to get to floors 1 through 18, and it's kind of like it's an RPG book. It's lit RPG, and so the people have stats, and they get mods and learn spells and stuff like that. He's trying to survive this dungeon and go through and win, and it's against like the AI and all that kind of stuff. It's extremely
How does it work in audiobooks though?
What's that?
I said, how would that work for an audiobook if you're playing a game / reading a book?
It's like I said, it's lit RPG, literary RPGs, and The Land is another one that we've listened to, and I'll tell you, you listen to it and it is just unreal. And I like it, kind of links into Heroclix too because of the powers and the stats and the things that these people have as they're fighting on there. You're not in control of any of the RPGs, but you're listening to it. It's good. But like I said, I highly recommend Dungeon Crawler Carl. There's about 8 books out there, and it's pretty crazy.
All right, it's gonna go on my list. I get buy one get one free right now this week. So,
well, if you get the first book, you'll probably be through it pretty quick and end up having to get. I'm on book 5. Yeah. So,
Scott, are you like Captain America when he came on Frozen Out of the Ice? You have a list of everything you have to cross off?
No, I mean, not quite, but it's going to go on the list of potential reads. I got this book that I'm in for. What is the book called? Oh my gosh, you would Crack the Sky. It's book 7 or book 8 of this series, and then I got the next one already downloaded. So,
hey, that'd be a good question for the survey. Is if Captain America was unfrozen right now, what would you tell him that he has to see or listen to that he missed out on?
What would I tell Captain America to listen to?
Yeah.
The book to read. I mean, it changed my whole reading aspect. I did not like reading for the longest time. The book that I read that said, "Hey, books are fun again," was Day by Day Armageddon. Like I could not put that book down. I read it in one setting. It felt like I got it at like 6 o'clock. I got off work and I started reading it. And I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, oh man, I got to get up and go to work. And I read a couple more chapters and I look at the clock. I'm like, oh man, I got to get up and go to work. Next thing I know, it's 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, holy cow.
Well, Joe, what would you tell Captain America that he missed out on? He has to check out.
They missed out on in 2026.
Anything over since what was it, 1940?
40.
Jeez.
1940s.
I'm old. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's a lot that's happened between now and then. I'd first tell him, don't get an iPad, don't get a cell phone. That's one of my least favorite things about nowadays. Like I said, I'm not a techie guy. I don't do Clix online. A lot of people do Clix online. It's like I do Clix to hang out in person and see folks around. So,
World War II was 1939 to 1945.
1940. So,
Wow.
yeah. So, and my entire life, there's a lot out there that you could say. I'll have to come back on that one. There's a lot.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne. That is fantastic. My daughter and I this morning were trying to talk about if War Pigs or Iron Man was a better song.
Ooh.
War Pigs.
Yeah.
I'd say Iron Man. Man, we don't agree anything.
No, Iron Man is very. Iron Man is the popular opinion of the two because of the movie, because of the stuff built up around it. But
just so catchy.
More of an impact would have been War Pigs, I think.
See, Iron Man was on the radio, and we were listening to it and stuff on the way to school this morning. And I was like, I said, this is good. I said, what about War Pigs? And so anyways, we had to go find it and play it next. And, I like War Pigs better if I was picking an Ozzy Osbourne song. But
we have an Ozzy specialist in his house. You should go ask April.
Yeah. I don't know if she has that one. She's been collecting all the old albums since he died. She got them all on vinyl.
That's awesome.
So, let's see here. Lost my train of thought. Which is more likely to exist, aliens or angels?
Yes.
Yes, they're both. I would go. I'll be hopeful. I'm gonna say angels. I think that if there was aliens out there, we'd have to either see them by now or they look just like us. Angels. I've had some close calls in my life, things that I don't think I should have made it through or should have. How did that not happen? And I think it's got to be somebody watching over you. So I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna say angels, because aliens, I just, in the last however long, like I said, we've been here keeping up with things, and how have we not seen the aliens yet, other than the, fuzzy Bigfoot pictures? Everybody with the taking pictures of Bigfoot and aliens apparently all have a iPhone 2. So
it's an Android.
Loch Ness Monster. Yeah. But
Scott, do you have any other questions for this segment?
I do have a question. It's not necessarily for you, Joe. It's more for Dean's wife. I don't know if you could get that information out. Would she prefer flowers at the funeral or a tree planted in Dean's name?
In Dean's name, probably either. I know if we do a tree or something, I can make sure that gets planted. Yeah, Dean Hubbard's our guy. He passed away on Saturday. He's one of the big guys that kept me in Clix. He's played for years. Green Lantern was his guy. He loved the Lantern Legacy set we just went through, but he's had health issues for a year. Had a major surgery last Friday and passed away Saturday. So, but Scott, a tree would probably be.
No, because I'm asking for myself personally, because I prefer doing the trees. It's
Yeah.
flowers are nice when they're there, but it's just a lot of extra to move around after the fact. So I prefer to do a tree. The Earthbound and Down guys are all on board for it. They all changed their logos on Facebook to Superman for the temporary. I've reached out to Wes. I would like to do a tree regardless.
That'd be
If
fantastic.
Earthbound wants to help pay for a tree, if Talkn Clix wants to help pay for a tree, whatever, I'm going to put a tree in.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be great. I know she would appreciate that. And like I said, she's our team mom. I know y'all haven't seen her at too much, but the last couple of years, everywhere we've been, she's been there with us. She's come to Memphis with us, and like I said, she's traveled everywhere we've gone to stay with because of Dean's health issues. She's been there. She's been a great part of Clix, and it's neat because she knows nothing about Clix. She hasn't tried Clix or anything else.
No, but it's the people, it's the family.
Yeah. That's it. She loves coming and being with us and, enjoying the trip and hearing the talk and stuff. So yeah, I think she would really enjoy a tree. That would be an amazing thing for y'all to do.
I never met Dean. Actually, I never even heard his name until Saturday, but Scott told me about it, and I immediately changed my profile picture. And I want to say thank you to the Clix community that all did that knew about it. It was great to see all these Supermen on the feed saying for Dean. So that was very nice. Why Superman?
Laura named Dean Superman back when his kidney disease and first started. He lost his kidney. He got a transplant a few years back, but I've seen, like I said, I've known Dean about 10 years, maybe a little bit longer now. And the guy's been through everything, and he has stayed strong. Nothing gets him down. Like I said, from getting a kidney transplant to losing a kidney after he had a transplant, his body rejected it because he caught cancer, and then the chemo made him reject it. And the guy stays strong. He stays positive. He has been her Superman, and everything she's done has always been. She rarely types Dean. She's my Superman update, and everything he has been Superman for years. And like I said, he just couldn't take him down. Could not take him down. He was that guy. He was just he was tough, and like I said, he's been through the ringer. So, but that was, like I said, he was her Superman, and he's just been Superman in our group because, like I said, the guy's tough.
He was a light and a joy to be around too.
Yeah, always funny, always in good spirits. Even when he didn't feel well. Like I said, that was like I said, at Worlds last year, he came and did passed out candy for Halloween at my house this year. And, he wasn't feeling well, but he talked to every kid that came in the yard. He talked about their costume. He enjoyed life. He enjoyed everything that he did and was always doing something. So, but yeah, that was Superman. Dean was our Superman.
Well,
thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah, no problem. So,
what else you got, Scott?
My only other topic I wanted to bring up was, since you've been to Worlds a few times, does it have a dungeon feel to it when you're sitting in their room?
No. Yes, it did. Worlds pre-COVID, I think it was when X-Men, the animated, the Dark Phoenix saga, whatever it was called. That year, Wizkids had one room that was surrounded by black curtains, and everything was in one room, and we were on top of each other. It was packed. It was dark and stuff. The last couple of years, they've tripled or quadrupled the space where we've got 4 rooms and everything's spread out and tables are further apart. So I want to say last couple of years, no, we've had plenty of room and lots of light. That first year, it was my second year going, but the first year it was at Graceland. It was crowded, it was dark, and it was a little bit dungeony. But
I don't know. I feel like that room is just like, hey, we got walls, and then it's just dark, and it feels like it's
the best black curtains,
dungeon feel.
Yeah. Well, did you go the year that everything was in one single room? It was the year that, like I said, the Dark Phoenix Saga was the thing everybody was playing. We got.
I don't think I went that year.
Everything was in one room and it was packed, and it was it was very claustrophobic in there. It was.
I went to the ceiling. You could look up and see all that space.
Yeah. Kept my eyes on my table so I could complain about my dice. The first year that I went to Origins, they run BRs every hour or so. It was the Illuminati set with the power gem and all that kind of stuff, and they had 16 people at 2 6-foot tables. I mean, it was map to map to map, and I mean, they just kept
sitting in each other's laps.
$10 BRs all day long, and I'm telling you, as soon as they would say it was over, everybody was back in line. They handed you a card, you sat at that table and started again. That was crowded. That was claustrophobic. But I think things have gotten better. I haven't been to any bad venues lately. I haven't been to any venues that just felt crowded, and I feel like years ago, a lot of these places we went in, I felt like they stuck you back in a closet or something to go play, like you didn't have any room. But everything we've been to lately has been great. So
excellent. All right, that's all I had.
This is for both of you guys, since you guys both been to a large number of tournaments and events. How much of your budget when you go to a regular event are you prepared to spend on food? On a 2-day event.
2-day event?
2-day event.
$25 to $30 a day. You could eat off of that and be comfortable with it. If you're wanting to go have a nice fancy meal and some drinks afterwards, you're looking at probably $50 for that one meal.
We my brother's wife packs us cookies and things like that, and packs a bunch of snacks for us. But I think for Worlds this year, I spent probably about $40, maybe $50 on the high end eating each day. We get something quick for breakfast, go grab a biscuit or something somewhere, and then after the event, have a nicer dinner. And the dinner was probably $35,
So if you're at Graceland, the gas station right around the corner there has some decent sausage biscuits for breakfast. Mm-hmm. But if you prefer something else, there's a McDonald's a few blocks down that you can get you a nice hearty oatmeal and a sausage McGriddle, because that's my choices.
We and if you go to Memphis, Egg King Cafe was fantastic. Absolutely gigantic biscuits and stuff, a little bitty hole in the wall place. We like to eat at the Egg King in the morning, and it's probably 2 miles past the venue once you pass Graceland. But we've never actually stayed on property. With there being 6 or 8 of us, it's been a little more enjoyable and a little more spacious to get like a 4 or 5 bedroom house. And
a nice Airbnb. But it's I'm telling you, if you go to the event and you stay at the Graceland Hotel, mm-hmm. It is just a giant, hey guys, let's go hang out. Hey. It's constantly you see people
everywhere.
You haven't seen in forever. It's like, oh hey.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we do. It's like, I know they want to get 4 guys in a room, and it's like, we're too big to be sleeping 4 in a room. So it kind of takes away a lot of that good pricing they give us.
Just cuddle.
That's it, cuddle.
It's called a struggle snuggle for a reason.
Yeah. But before we end, what teams are you guys working on for the next couple of tournaments, or what tournaments y'all plan on going to next?
I don't have anything on the horizon for myself. We have something that we do every February, March, April. It's a tournament with the locals to mimic the Final Four basketball tournament.
Yeah.
To where we have a 4-letter word event. So you have to build a team using the first letter of each character's name to spell a 4-letter word. So it limits your characters on what you can have on your team. Generally, there's no sideline or limited sideline. With the one-shots being more prevalent, we'll have one-shots on the team as well. But you want the majority of your team to be these 4-letter words. And you have to have a proper 4-letter word. You can't use like bros and say that's brothers.
Glarp. Yeah. What about you, Wes?
I don't have any
4-letter words.
I don't have any plans on the horizon, but if I go to events, usually last minute, and then I have to slap something together.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to maybe go to Adepticon. I don't know. I have some feelings about banning juice, but I don't know. I just kind of play it by ear, and if something's coming up, then I don't.
Whole episode without saying his name, Wes.
What's that?
Someone else made it a whole episode without saying his name.
We only said it once.
Oh yeah.
Only said it once. No, I'll probably be last minute, but I try to go to something that just depends on what I have going on that weekend and if I can afford it. But nothing right this minute.
Yeah. I know there's a lot out there that I want to build with, but I just, it's so vague. And like I said, right now we build for the format. Right now, everybody's looking at that silver pulp format, which is.
If you're talking about silver pulp, I'm looking at 200-point Moon Knight, 100-point Supergirl, 90-point Nightmare.
That's 300 modern. No, I guess Moon Knight's rotated now. Right?
Moon Knight's rotated.
Yeah. That's I was looking at Professor X from the school that mind controls the whole team within 8, and some manifold for combat reflexes, and that way I can stay alive, 20 defense, and then put some attackers on there. Spider-Man, Moon Knight's not a bad one. There's a lot out there in silver, but
that Moon Knight is so hard to kill.
He is absolutely gross, and there's not a lot in silver with no equipment that can take him down. Especially with playing Supergirl, where I hit him to a stop click, he heals up. It's really
he's going to heal at the beginning of his turn anyway. But yes, it's just double insurance.
It's gross. It's gross. So, like I said, I just didn't know if y'all had any plans or any figures y'all were excited about that are out right now.
I'm excited about all of them. I just pulled a Venom Wolverine or
Vampire Wolverine.
Vampire Wolverine. Sorry. So I'm excited to play him. I just don't have any big events to look forward to right now. But so we have a tradition at Talkn Clix. The nerds over at the Talkn Clix laboratories have put together a questionnaire, and the idea of it is you've been playing for a long time. People know you in the community. You just went to Key New Orleans. And people kind of know your name. They've seen you around. They played with you.
Yep.
They sat across from you, but they don't really know you. They don't know what's inside your soul. They don't know what makes you click. So the scientists at Talkn Clix Laboratories have come up with the ironclad, foolproof questionnaire to get the heart and the soul of the Heroclix player, so the entire Heroclix community can know who you are. Are you brave enough to answer these questions?
Yeah, let's answer them.
What is the first day of the week?
The first day of the week, I would go with Sunday. Sunday, first day of the week.
Okay.
All right. Would you rather have banks, cats, or AI as the new overlords of the world?
I'm going cats. I don't banks and AI. I'm not an AI fan, and banks already rule things now and aren't doing a great job.
I'm really interested in this question from a teacher's perspective. What is a petty hill that you're willing to die on?
Kids need to get off the computers and learn how to actually write something down. You don't understand. I teach elementary school kids, and kids don't even color anymore with crayons, they want to tap on a book and then they can't write. Kids need to go back to pencil and paper. And I think that would improve all education right now.
Cursive.
Cursive is almost non-existent. It's crazy.
All right. So if you could go back in time and strangle the internet in its infancy, would you do it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not a internet fan. I think the internet was a good idea that's gotten silly, gotten out of hand. I think that's the reason a lot of people don't have the personal communication. And that's why I like Clix. It's I get to go and hang out with people in real life.
Would you rather give up showering or give up Heroclix for 1 year?
I would have to give up Clix for a year. As much as I enjoy it, I don't think I could go a year without showering.
I like the audible on that question. Good job.
Yeah.
All right. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of Heroclix opponents?
Oh, Heroclix opponents that I've played.
Yes.
Or that Lucas Van Hollen's one of my favorite guys to play, and he absolutely beats me down every time I play him. Mike Eskew, if you've ever played against Mike,
yes,
he is one of the most gracious Clix players that I've played, and I call him Meta Mike. I've beaten him once out of all the times we've played each other. He is just an amazing community member to play against. And one day I want to beat either Caleb Reddick or Isaac. Those two guys. Daniel Powell. Daniel Powell's way smarter than me, but that would be my guys I'd put up there. I've played Caleb Reddick, I feel like, at every big tournament, and he beats me down. Like I said, and those guys. And then, have y'all ever played against Isaac?
I have not played against Isaac.
Arnold Barkovich.
I played against his dad a bunch, but I haven't played against Isaac.
It's a different game. It's a different game. We're playing checkers. He's playing chess, and he's triple outwitting powers and moving people all over the board, and then your team's just dead. It is amazing watching that guy play. And like I said, first time I played him was 3 or 4 years ago. He was probably about 15 years old and just beat me down. But like I said, I've played against a lot of those big guys. Like I said, Lucas and Daniel are very good players that like to teach you while they play against you. I don't think I've ever beaten either one of them. Like I said, Mike Eskew is fun to play against. That would be my group of guys that I like seeing at the big events, and that really, I learn a lot from watching their strategies and how they play. So,
what is the best breakfast cereal?
Best breakfast cereal. The best breakfast cereal is taking Lucky Charms and putting half Lucky Charms and half grape nuts. That's my breakfast cereal of choice. Lucky Charms gets soggy too quick, and the grape nuts never get soggy, so you'll have a crunchy cereal and marshmallow.
Right. I'm gonna mention this again. Why do we call people marshmallows? Because we say they're soft. That's the insult, to say they're soft. Those marshmallows and Lucky Charms, not soft.
They're not soft at all.
And your grape nuts, you may as well be eating pea gravel.
I know. I know. That's. I
love the texture, but the flavor is just.
That's why you have the Lucky Charms, so it actually tastes like something.
Okay, I could get behind it. I love eating cereal, so I could probably give it a whirl. You can have dinner with anyone throughout history. Who are you eating with, and what are you eating? One person.
One person throughout history. Somebody would be very interesting is like a Nelson Mandela, someone who's actually had to lead a country, and like with the things like I just recently read through his book again, and things that he went through, and to make it through and to stay positive and things like that. That's something like that. And if I was eating something, any. I'm a seafood guy. We'd have to have some type of fish, some type of seafood, whether it was, you know, tuna, bass, trout, sushi, some kind of seafood. That would be my true choice.
How long does it take for you to unpack your Heroclix and put them back in their storage containers after an event?
About twice a year I put my Heroclix away. They live and they make fun of me. I show up a lot of times with a Ziploc bag with my figures in it, my team in it, and this is my team. And when I get home, I mean to put it away, and it sits on a table. I've got all the storage boxes labeled and everything else, but actually separating figures back into their original sets, it rarely happens around here.
All right.
So.
All right, my turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you were a crayon, what color would you be?
If I was a crayon, what color would I be? I'm gonna go with blue. Blue is a color that half of my clothes are blue. A lot of stuff that I own is blue. It's just kind of a mellow color. It's not quite in your face. It's a good color, blue.
All right. We're going to skip this question as you already answered it about audiobooks. What tastes better, round or square pizza?
The old school, like rectangle pizza from like elementary school was amazing.
Somebody else said that.
You worked there.
Like that. They don't make them like that anymore. They don't make the big rectangle pizzas anymore. If I was ordering pizza from somewhere, I'm going round just because square is usually thin crust, and I don't want to eat a pizza cracker. I want to actually have pizza dough. So, both.
Right. Our next question is: you're going to fight an animal. I'm spinning the random animal spinner wheel now. You can't see it.
All right.
The result is: can you defeat a giant parrot?
No weapons.
No weapons.
A giant, like a human-sized parrot?
It's just a big giant parrot. Or I guess a tropical parrot. Not one you're going to see in a cage, but a big one.
I think that I could defeat a tropical parrot. I have a little bit of boxing background, and parrots don't have arms.
He's got the height on you. He's coming from above with the claws.
He does, but if I can dodge the beak, I've got hands that I could fight back with. He doesn't really. I don't see him hitting me with wings or anything.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, we're gonna say you get this one.
All right.
Who is your Disney princess?
My Disney princess. I'm going Merida. Merida's an archer. Merida's awesome. I'm going with Merida from Brave. She can defeat a bear. That's the kind of princess you need.
All right. How many tries did it take before you got your driver's license?
I think I took my permit test twice, way back when you took a permit test. And then I drove one time. We got in the car and I had to literally drive around the block with the little testing guy. And that was it. So I'm going to say I know I took my test twice and did a driving test once. Do y'all still have driving tests in y'all state?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
We do not have a driving test anymore.
So we can just come to Mississippi and buy a license?
If you're over 18, you get your permit and license on the same day. If you're under 18, you get your permit, and 365 days later, you can get a license.
Remind me never to drive in that state.
It's awful. And my daughter, you sign a paper. I have a 17-year-old. We have to sign a paper that says she had 50 hours of daytime and 50 hours of nighttime practice.
Whew.
Yep. So, but if you're over 18, you literally just walk in there. If you pass your permit test, they can hand you a license.
I'd be interested in seeing if the accident rate has increased since that rule's changed.
That started at COVID because the state people couldn't get in the car to drive with you. And so they just have never reinstated it.
Wow.
There is no driving test anymore. It's just the book.
Well, take a nice deep breath. You have survived the Clix questionnaire. You're out of the hot seat. You endured it. How does it feel?
It was pretty good. The cereal question was tough. So,
I mean, yeah, with me ridiculing your Lucky Charms with your hard marshmallows and rocks that you want to put with it.
yeah, it's man, I get it all the time, and I'm a Raisin Bran guy too. And my kids are just
Yep.
I don't have to worry about anybody else eating my cereal.
I'm good with Raisin Bran.
I got yelled at the other day because I polished off the box of Raisin Bran and didn't buy more. And she went to go look for a Raisin Bran and it wasn't there.
So there's basically one cereal I don't like to eat.
What's that?
One, and I can't even think of what it is off the top of my head. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I love the texture. It's just overpowering cinnamon.
Yeah, I could see that. It's a little too much.
And I like mixing my cereals, like you said. I'll mix whatever with whatever to give it a whirl. But Cinnamon Toast Crunch, you can't mix it. I mean, I'll eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but maybe grape nuts is the only thing you can mix with it. That's not gonna.
Yeah, it's got too much powder on it, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Is oatmeal cereal?
Yes.
Think so?
It says it on the box.
I don't care what it says.
It's a hot cereal.
It says Miracle Whip is a salad dressing. I'm not putting that on my salad.
It says animal crackers are crackers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no. I don't think oatmeal. I know it's considered a hot cereal, but that's gonna say grits is a cereal, and grits is not a cereal.
Grits goes with shrimp.
Shrimp and grits is good. But yeah, I'm gonna say oatmeal's not. And I like oatmeal a lot, but it's not I don't consider it
not a cereal. It's a porridge.
You put cereal you pour milk on. I don't really pour much milk into my oatmeal. And
you don't have to just have milk on your cereal. You can use water if you're poor. You can use orange juice if you're drunk.
put water on it. You ain't throwing that away.
I saw somebody put Mountain Dew in their cereal once.
Yeah, I'd do it.
I walk through a cafeteria every morning, and most of the kids use either chocolate milk or strawberry milk in their cereal, and they're eating like Trix cereal.
Sounds like a sugar coma.
Strawberry milk, yeah. And it's why can't this little kid sit still in class? It's like,
I don't know.
He had 70 grams of sugar for breakfast.
All right. So, as your reward of surviving the Clix questionnaire, now you get to ask us a question.
All right. If you could rework one Heroclix character to make it which you think the spirit of the character should be instead of what it is, what change would you make in which character?
Oh, Wes is doing a Deadpool.
Yeah, definitely. Well, for one thing, and this has always bothered me, like this really grates on my nerves. Where is he? Deadpool unicorn. The sculpt is on a cloud. It's a unicorn. It flies. The card says he's a boot. Why does the unicorn not fly when the sculpt is on a cloud?
That's the guys with swords and no blades, claws, fangs.
Exactly.
And in his Deadpool should have free regen. Period. I think every Deadpool, every Captain America should have leadership. I know sometimes he's a bad guy. Every Deadpool should have free regen.
Every Hulk should have traded charge.
Every Hulk should have traded charge and super strength. Every now and then you get that weird Hulk that doesn't have super strength. Why not?
Oh, I'm a quake Hulk. I'm not a super strength guy.
Yeah, exactly. What click would you fix, Scott?
I don't know that there's one that I would fix off the top of my head. Like, I feel like everything has a place, whether it's in a good place or a bad place. Everything has its place that it's supposed to be in.
Yeah, like I said, I think Wizkids comes up with figures to play, and I don't think they do too much thought outside of their set because nothing is really busted in its set. It's when you start adding this guy from 5 sets ago, or the guy that comes out the next set, or whatever, you know.
Or an Iconics that mixes with it. Like there's like the X-Men Iconics. I understand Magneto sees a lot of play. I really, really like Angel and Beast in that Iconic set with those. I do want to see some things change, like the Odin that lets you pass out Earthbound Neutralize instead of outwitting something, give them Earthbound Neutralize. I feel like that is phenomenal. Be like, all right, so hey, you don't have any improved targeting or improved movements.
That's the like the Red Lantern guy. Doesn't he give everybody Battle Fury or something?
Yeah,
Stuff like that. I wish that we'd see more of that. And if I could know anything in Heroclix, I want to know the point formula. I want to know why some figures points just don't make sense. You know, why is this guy 25 points and he's way better than this?
Oh, why is the
150
Phoenix
point-
Pog 10 points and the Manifold Pog that does almost the same thing, 25 points?
They have a giant fishbowl with a bunch of numbers in there, and they reach in 5, 12.
I don't know. Like I said, it's crazy to think about. Like I said, your 50-point Death Metal Wonder Woman, and then all of the 50-point characters that just never get played.
Okay. How about this? Universal Weapon and Exospecs. 2 points difference.
Yeah.
You just take away all the movement powers, and now you have the Universal Weapon. So the movement powers are only worth 2 points total?
That and then Animal Man. Is there a better 10 points in the game?
No.
No.
I mean, maybe with the one-shot combinations, but no.
I do wish they would stop factoring in equipment into the character, like the lanterns. They adjust the amount of the character because they get free equipment, and I don't think they should do that.
Well, yeah. He's getting a free ring, so he's an 85-point guy instead of a 60-point guy.
Yeah,
it's like now the ring's not free anymore, you know, and that's like I said, the point thing. Just always, there's no equation out there. All my years teaching math, we've looked into it, and it just doesn't. None of it makes any sense. You know, they say, oh, if it's a higher rarity, we put less points on it, but it's
Wizkids math. Yeah. You don't need to know that.
So that's always been my question. You know, it's like, how do they pick these points? Why is Prodegaton 20 points?
I could tell you, but I have to kill you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's it. It's like, nope. That's the secret we'll never hear.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking time to be here tonight. I really appreciate it. And please give our condolences to Dean's wife.
Absolutely.
That's, I actually was really touched that when Scott told me about it and the community was coming together to do the Facebook thing, because I think we are a community, and I do think that when something like that happens, a tragedy, we should come together more and do something similar for more players that pass away.
They're our family, man. Yeah. They're our family.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I'm still in this game. Even like I said, going to Worlds and not playing in Worlds. It's going to see your friends, to see these guys that you don't see all the time. You know, I see them a couple times a year, but it's like you show up and it's a great community to be a part of. It truly is a great community to be a part of. You know, and there's very, very few outliers. You know, there's nobody you just don't want to see or don't want to play. It's a Heroclix. It is a great community, and it's great to see it growing. You know,
it was unfortunate that it was Superman was a choice of character, and his name was Dean, because people are going, does something happen to Dean Cain?
Yeah, no, not Dean Cain. No, yeah. Like I said, that is I didn't think about that till you just said Dean. I said thinking Dean Cain. But all right.
Well, do you have any final thoughts for the evening?
No, like I said, I appreciate y'all having me on. You know, it's good. It's awesome to see y'all. Hope to see y'all in tournaments here pretty soon. You know, everything's travel. Go out there and make it happen. I'm good.
Scott?
It's okay to not be okay. It's not okay to stay that way.
we are doing something different with this show. We are not the typical Heroclix show, and we are featuring the heroes of Heroclix. If you like what you see and hear on this show and want to support what we're doing and bringing light to the lesser-known characters and heroes of Heroclix, please consider supporting us through Patreon /Talkn Clix. $5
away this time.
What?
Said we'll be giving this away.
Oh, Deity Thor. Beginning of the month, we do a giveaway. Random items that we have, and $5 above gets your name put in once, $10 twice, $15 3 times, and there's additional prizes to go along with each tier. It is expensive to run these shows sometimes, and we're doing this for fun out of our pockets, so any little bit helps. All right, and my final thought is, as always, we're all characters on the board. Let's play together. And as always, keep on clixing.
Keep on clixing.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Mississippi back roads, dice in his hand. Gulf Coast Avengers, etched in the sand. 9 years deep in plastic and fate, hooked by Gotham girls. Harley sealed his fate. Brother cracked the boost, a spark in the air. Now every map feels like a test he'll dare. Elementary halls, chalk dust crown. Kids grew up and now they teach beside him now. Face says rookie, calendar says lie. Time slips sideways when you never stop trying. Not a builder by nature, no lab coat plans. He steals your best idea and outplays their hands. Last minute roster, no practice, no fear. Alpha strike loaded, combo in gear. Dolphins don't ask permission to rise. They leap from the water, claim the sky. Aquaman calling from the deep blue throne. Free change, elevation, let the oceans own. Round pizza, supremacy, square never wins. War pigs on repeat, let the madness begin. King of New Orleans, 22 stand tall. 5th place finish in a Shark Tank brawl. No warm-up games, no safety net, just instinct pressure, zero regret. Modern 300, that's a chosen lane. All formats welcome, but that one remains. Miles wears a crown for Aquaman praise, but Joe's close behind with tidal wave plays. Point values broken, numbers don't add. Show me the formula, can't be that bad. They hand out license with a shrug and a grin. Mississippi roads, buckle up, dig in. Dolphins don't ask permission to rise. They leap from the water, claim the sky. Angels up there, aliens no show. If they were real, we'd already know. Lucky Charms mixed with grape and nut steel. Oatmeal's a lie, that's how I feel. Turn off the screens, pick up a pencil, look someone in the eye. The world don't live in a browser window. It breathes, it sweats, it fights back. Seafood dinner with Mandela's ghost. Talk of justice waves and what matters most. Takes all night packing, clicks away. But some things are worth the time they take. Round tastes better, that's just fact. And if a giant parrot attacks, Joe wins that fight. No running back. Aquaman. storm and smile. Pain in his body, strength in his eyes. Surgery stacked like impossible weight. Still he held the line, never cursed his fate. A light in the room, a rock for his wife, for his family. Dean gave everything he had in his life. Through every scar, every hard man test, he wore the cape when the world hit its worst. Superman doesn't always fly. Sometimes he bleeds but still stands high. Plastic heroes, but the real ones stay in the love they gave and the lives they saved. Dolphins don't ask permission to rise. They break the surface, rewrite the sky. From classroom bells to tournament noise, Joe Clark rolls deep, calm and poised. Rest in peace, Dean, your light won't fade. Every Clix on the table keeps your name. Dice stop rolling. Legends don't. Dolphins don't. Dolphins stop roll. Dolphins don't.